Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to my presentation, and the name of my presentation is Women Empowerment in Bangladesh. First of all, dear audience, let me introduce myself. I am Farsim Riyashad from Independent University. Dear audience, you can see this is the roadmap of my overall presentation. That means the summary, whatever I am going to say you throughout the whole presentation. Let's have a look. First of all, I will give the definition of women empowerment, then the current status of women empowerment in Bangladesh. Thirdly, I will say that what can be the role of a man, what can be the role of a male person in this particular sector, and finally we will come to know that what are the importances of the women empowerment. Dear audience, first of all, let's come to know that what are the objectives of our presentation. Our first objective is to know the importances of women empowerment, because in our country Bangladesh we have lots of misconceptions regarding women. And second point, to know the role of men in women empowerment, as I said that in our roadmap. Now dear audience, you can see this is a particular picture where a particular female person is working as a farmer. Now a particular question can be asked, what is the definition of women empowerment? If we observe this particular word, women empowerment, we are getting basically the combination of two words. One is women and another one is empowerment. Now let's come to know what is the meaning of this particular word, empowerment. Dear audience, I think all of us have heard the name of World Bank. And World Bank had given an excellent definition of the empowerment, and the definition is the ability, the capacity of a particular person, or the ability or capacity of a particular group to select something, to choose something, and later on to fulfill that particular choice into wishes. This particular activity will be said as empowerment. For example, let us suppose there is a particular girl, and this girl studies and do well in the exams, and later on by the grace of Almighty Allah she got a very good job, and now she has the right, she has got the capacity to select someone as her life partner, and after that she is giving the exam at BCS cadre and becoming a very magistrate. In this way she is passing her life. So this particular activity to select something and later on to transform this particular select into his or her real wish, this particular activity will be said as empowerment. Now dear audience, let's come to know what is the current situation of women empowerment. Dear audience, we all know very well that Bangladesh is really one of the most populated countries in the whole world, isn't it? Our country is very small in size, but the number of population is extremely large in comparison to our area. Now, if we observe the statistics, then we get at present in our country Bangladesh approximately 16 crore number of people are living. The real data is 164.7 million. Among this huge number of population, 49.56% is female. That means approximately one half or 50% of the total population in our country Bangladesh are female. That means we have got a very, that means 50% male and 50% female. Among this 50% female person, according to the data is provided by World Economic Global Forum 2017, 18.6 million number of female persons are working, which is approximately equal to only 23% of the total female persons. That means if we do the overall calculation, we will see still now in our country Bangladesh approximately 70% female persons are not working due to various reasons, which is equivalent to 60 million number of female persons. And all of this data, as I mentioned, it was collected from World Economic Global Forum's Global Gender Report. I would like to mention this Global Gender Report is nothing but a particular report, or it's nothing but a particular index on gender equality. And every year World Economic Forum publishes this particular report. That means the situation is not so good. Although we are increasing, but the situation, can you imagine, in our country Bangladesh, 70% female persons are not working. What does it mean? It means maybe there may be lack of education or many other barriers. Let's have a look. Now, dear audience, let's come to know what are the importances of women empowerment. Actually, there are lots of importances are there, but I would like to highlight only 3 points. Number 1, sudden death of husband. Let us suppose there is a family, and in this family there are 3 persons, father, mother and son. Now, let's suppose only the father is working and all of them are not working. Mother is a housewife. Let us suppose one day due to road accident the father dies. What will happen to this family? If father is a government officer, maybe they may get some opportunities from government side. But what will happen for the private sector? What will happen? Definitely they need to pass through a very good amount of trouble, isn't it? A very bad experience, and this type of examples are available. If you go to rural areas, you will get available examples that due to the death of a certain person, the whole family enters into the world of poverty. It's the number 1. That means if a particular woman is employed, is a service holder, definitely in spite of the death of her husband, she can provide a very good number of services to her family. It's the number 1. Number 2, the economic growth in a family. Definitely it's a matter of common sense. If I as well as my wife, both of us are working together, definitely the ultimate economic growth will increase. So number 2. And number 3, individual development. Each and every person has some individual choice, isn't it? For example, I have bought this particular pointer from my own money. I have a laptop, everything. So each and every person has some individual choice. Similarly, a girl or a lady, definitely she has also some individual choices. And it is totally impossible for a particular lady to ask everything from her husband. So it is the women empowerment which is not only important for a particular lady individually, but also for an overall family, in some case for our country Bangladesh. Now dear audience, let's have a look. Dear audience, you can see this is a picture. Basically this is the group photo, and this is my group photo, Rangpur Cadet College, and this is my picture. Now a particular question can be asked that why I am showing this particular picture. Once upon a time, I was a student of Rangpur Cadet College, 2032nd intake, and I can still remember at that time the economic condition, the financial condition of my father was not up to the mark. I got chance in Cadet College, but at that time the Adjutant General was checking the financial condition, because in Cadet College there is no fixed salary for a particular student. This particular salary is made based on the financial condition of the parents. For example, let us suppose a very rich businessman and his son got chance in Cadet College, definitely the salary will be higher than a general person. So at that time, my mother was working at Care Bangladesh, which is one of the renowned NGO around the whole world. So the Adjutant General called to the office of my mom, and Alhamdulillah, due to this particular criteria, by the grace of Almighty Allah, I got chance. Definitely the work, the status as well as the financial condition of my mom helped me at that particular time. And you can see this is my picture. It's cadet number 1552, Cadet Farsim from Rangpur Cadet College. It's year 2007 when I was in class 8. Now, dear audience, let us come to know one of the most important point, why in our country Bangladesh women are lagging behind in this particular sector, that's the women empowerment. Because in the slides we observed that approximately 70% of the women are not working, which is approximately equal to a huge number of population. 70% of the female person. Actually, there are lots of reasons are there. But since I don't have sufficient amount of time, I would like to highlight some few points. Number one, illiteracy. You know, illiteracy. Education is the backbone of a nation, no doubt. But unfortunately, in our country, Bangladesh, still now, human beings are not getting true education. They have various types of misconception about a girl, about a woman. Even if you go to rural areas, child marriage is a very common matter. They are forcing their girls to marry because they think that a girl is a burden, which is really one of the most important misconceptions, pathetic misconceptions in our society. And another point, misconception about Islam religion. That means Islam religion, I would like to mention that I am a Muslim. Okay, please don't think otherwise. And the thing is that there are many people, they have some wrong ideas regarding Islam religion, that Islam does not permit a lady or girl to do jobs. This is also one of the misconcept about a girl, because of which in our country Bangladesh women are not forwarding. This is one of the pathetic point. Now let's come to know how to improve this women empowerment. This is really one of the most important point. Basically there are many ways are there, but according to my personal point, first of all we need to increase the standard of education. That means we need to make the people understand that a woman or a lady is not a burden. Today we can see a girl, if she is given proper education, she can also be a doctor, she can also be an engineer, she can also be a magistrate. Even now, today in our country Bangladesh, there are many ladies are there, those who are joining defense services, police officer, then Bangladesh Army, Navy, Air Force, and also many other. So the thing is that in order to create this type of awareness among the people, whatever we should do various types of seminars. We should go, there are various types of NGOs are there. For example, Transparency International Bangladesh, Care Bangladesh, UNDP, UNICEF, the World Health Organization. These type of organizations can play a really very vital role to make the rural people understand that what are the importances of women in our family, in our country. Now dear audience, you can see this is a particular slide. As you all know very well, in our country Bangladesh, our respected Prime Minister Begum Sheikh Hasina had taken a very nice step at the primary level education. At the same time, I think the education level must be increased properly. For example, if you go to the primary schools, then the standard, the environment is not too much good. I think Bangladesh government must take a proper step to make it much more attractive, much more free, much more accessible to the general people. That's the most important point. Now dear audience, another point, that is the free seminar at the villages. Now dear audience, one of the most important point, what can be the role of a man in the women empowerment? Because I am a man, I am a male person, but I am talking for the female person. So definitely a question could be arised. Dear audience, in this particular slide, I would like to show you something. Do you know who is this lady? She is one of the most famous Bengali writers ever in this country, Bangladesh, Begum Rokeya Sagat Hossain. And we all know very well, Begum Rokeya Sagat Hossain, she is our pride. And you can see just behind her picture, the name of this person is late Muhammad Rokunuzzaman, and she was her husband. And I would like to mention that Begum Rokeya Sagat Hossain was a female poet, she was a writer, she was a novelist, and in her literature activities, her husband helped her very much, which is really an example in our society. And as an educated person, he fulfilled this particular activity. At that particular time, if this person hadn't helped him, then I am doubt that whether we could got such a beautiful, qualified, amazing, stupendous female writer in our country Bangladesh or not. Begum Rokeya Sagat Hossain had a huge amount of contribution in our literature, isn't it? And we have got it from a particular woman. And I would like to mention what can be the role. A male can be a brother, a male can be a father, a male can be a son, even if a male can also be a friend. We should help in each and every aspect to a girl so that she gets help at each and every points, maybe in the classroom, maybe in the work fields, in our offices, and also many others. That should be the most active role in our life, in the women empowerment. And dear audience, now let's come to know that some misconception about Islam, and which are going to be the last slides most probably. Do you know who is this girl? Is a very famous girl, Malala Yousafzai of Pakistan. And we all know very well that Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is such a religion which had given equal right to both male and also female. Even in the glorious Quran, there is a particular surah, Surah An-Nisa. Nisa is a particular Arabic word which means female. But if you see the glorious Quran, there is not a single word for the male. That means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, our Almighty Creator, our Islam religion had given the uppermost dignity, prestige, and honor to a girl. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam also mentioned, Jannat lies under the legs of a mother for a particular child. But the thing is that unfortunately in our country as well as in this Indian subcontinent, many people, many fundamentalism or extremist Muslim people think that a woman cannot do job, which is really a wrong concept. For example, and due to this particular wrong concept, Malala Yousafzai, a girl of Pakistan, she was shooted. She was assassinated by the Taliban in the year of 2012 when she was only 14 years old. Later on, by the grace of Almighty Allah, her life was saved, and just after 2 years, in the year of 2014, when she was 17 years old, she got the Nobel Prize, and which is really a very great honor, and it is really, I think from my personal point, it's a very great example for all the female persons of the whole world. What was her crime? She wanted to make the lady educated. That was her crime, and which is really very much pathetic that some extremists like Taliban, Al-Qaeda, IS, for this type of people, we the Muslims are also becoming shame. At the same time, each and every time Islam, which is a religion of peace, are also becoming very much neglected, and a very bad image is created. Now dear audience, this will be the last slide of my presentation. Do you know who is this lady? Her name is Captain Mona Sindhi. I would like to mention, basically she is an Egyptian woman, but she was living in Australia with her family for the last few years, for the last many years. She had also got the citizenship of Australia, and she is the first Muslim lady of Australia who become captain of Australian Navy. That means, you know, Australian Navy officers, and she is the captain, and she is the first Muslim hijabi woman of our Muslim community of that Australia, I should like to say, who become captain in Australian Navy. And I would like to mention, at the same time, she is also an engineer. That means engineering corps Navy officer. And really, it's a very great honor, and also it's a great example for all of us to know regarding the women empowerment. And my slide is almost finished. So before finishing, I would like to say, if we want to know a particular religion, we need to read the religious scriptures. We should not look what the people, what the Maulana or what the other people are telling. We should look to the religious scriptures. And if we see the hadith, the first prophet of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Hazrat Khadijatul Kubra radiyallahu ta'ala anha, she was one of the best and one of the most popular business women at that particular time. But our beloved Prophet did not say her anything. Even if there is not a single verse in the Holy Quran which says that a woman cannot do what. Each and every Islam has given freedom to everyone. According to Islam, man and woman are equal to each other. So ladies and gentlemen, let's remove this particular misconception. Let's take a vow. Let's work together. Let's work for the development of our nation. Let's work for the development of this country, Bangladesh, and let's make this Bangladesh so that we can achieve sustainable development goals within the year 2030. And with this, a very short presentation, I would like to conclude my today's presentation. Thank you. Thanks to everybody for hearing my presentation with a very kind patience. Thank you.